Racing to the 2020 Kentucky Derby. It's time for the Kentucky Derby Future Wager Pool number 4. And this is part 1 of a 3-part video. We're going to take a look at the new shooters today. Of course, Churchill Downs will be honoring all future wagers as this has caused a little bit of a kerfuffle. This is a little bit different. You're going to be looking at 10 months from the time Pool 1 came out to pool number 4, and I don't know, it seems a little bit sneaky to me to keep on running these future wager pools. They will be offering possibly pool number 5 and 6. So if you're betting on these new shooters here in pool number 4, well, God bless you, because there's some long shots here that I think most people realize will not be in play on the first Saturday in September. But let's take a look at them, as they are some wagering options here. Again, Excession, who finished second at 80-1 to Nadal in the Rebel Stakes at Oaklawn Park. He is training towards the Arkansas Derby. His best 2 races have been in the slop. He does have a little bit of a distance pedigree. He may have just turned the corner a little bit in his last race, although he got a perfect trip that day to run kind of a suck-up second to Nadal, as a couple of the horses did not fire, and Excession was able to save a lot of ground, kind of weaved his way through traffic and got a perfect trip to run second. I'm not sure that Excession is even really an Arkansas Derby player, let alone a Kentucky Derby player. So Excession will probably be about 70 or 80-1 here in pool number 4. Kingguillermo, who finished the first in the Tampa Bay Derby at 50-1, he was going to train up to the Kentucky Derby when it was going to be held on the first Saturday in May. He actually ran a nice race, and he's he's kind of proven in his limited starts that he's got some talent off the layoff. He fired fresh, and he pulled away in that Tampa Bay Derby. Beat the nice Sol Volante in doing so. The question is really, how do you see his path to the Kentucky Derby 2020 going on? The fact that he was going to train up to May, first weekend in May, now they've got a point maybe for Saratoga race. Do they go to a Belmont race, or do they hit one of the minor derbies? Until we really get that schedule coming out, are they going to include races like the Iowa Derby, the West Virginia Derby, and some other races? Or are they hoping to revamp the Jim Dandy and move some of the other races? So Kingguillermo is just a little bit interesting just because of the pedigree, and he did actually run a strong race in the Tampa Bay Derby. Mischievous Alex, this is a horse who would have been hard-pressed to go 9 furlongs in the Wood Memorial. Now with that race being taken off the table and pushed back to some other undetermined time, Mischievous Alex is the type of horse. He's a pace setter. There's plenty of speed already signed on in the Derby. I really can't endorse Mischievous Alex in any type of Kentucky Derby future wager at this point. New York Traffic is another horse that seems to really like being on the front end or close to the front end. But again, there's a lot of speed with Charlatan, Nadal. All of the winners are just going wire to wire. 'Tis the law. Horses like Shivaree. I can't imagine New York Traffic really being a contender the first Saturday in September. He's got the points right now. That's why they are listing him. Shivaree, a long shot, finished second in the Florida Derby. It seems like that race does seem to produce some odd second and third place finishers. Some maiden winners have ran second. Now it's Shivaree running second. Questionable pedigree by Awesome Courage to get 1.25 miles. Again, they've got 40 points, but I think by the time the Derby runs around, they'll be looking at other races. So Shivaree, you're going to want all of 100-1 to possibly get in the field. So that's a look at your new shooters. Excession, Kingguillermo, Mischievous Alex, New York Traffic, and Shivaree. I think all of those should be well over 100-1 realistic odds of winning the Kentucky Derby, and probably out of those 5, you'll be lucky, probably only 1 even making it to the Kentucky Derby. Out of the new shooters, who do you like? Leave a comment below. Share this video with all your racing friends. And remember, hit subscribe. Who will be the 500th subscriber as we continue along on the 2020 Kentucky Derby Trail? We'll have part 2 and part 3 of these videos coming up in the next few days as we lead you through the 2020 Kentucky Derby.